Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And Christmas is just around the corner and Vanguard is not giving us any presents at the present time. Scump running into two of the major issues right now with the game last night. Back to back at a Vutu hardpoint. He wasn't having the greatest time, and understandably so. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Top this channel, reach new people, and please subscribe as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, thought this was entertaining. Frankly, a new blueprint now in the Vanguard store. Like, what am I even looking at right here? Every single, well, I don't know, every so often they add something like this into the game. It just blows my mind really, because the developer, like, I remember several weeks really into the title, there was some talk, a developer was kind of playing the game, and there was some thoughts, okay, is the trophy system actually going to arrive? Like, it wasn't in World War II, and a lot of players really said back in the World War II days when the Pro League was on back then, they're like, okay, the nade spam is just crazy, because everyone spawns up with a grenade and a stun grenade, like, well, a frag grenade. I'm pretty sure they used Semtexes back in that game, to be honest, but everyone used those, and there was no trophy to counter them at all in World War II, and it just led to a crazy nade spam situation where you dying can actually be beneficial, because then you get your nade and your stun back. That's why a lot of people would say the pick 10 system was way better, because not everyone had all those equipment all the time on the map. But in this game, the trophy system, once again, after being pretty much a Call of Duty staple piece of equipment, is not here, and that is causing a lot of frustrations in especially hardpoint when, for example, the stuns still do 20 damage, right, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, all that being said, the reason given why the trophy wasn't there is because, of course, you know, back in World War II, the trophy system is a piece of equipment, like it just blocks incoming projectiles. That did not exist. But I guess this is perfectly fine, and that's kind of what Nasty and Simp are getting at right here. Like, you know, can I get a trophy system now, please? You know, real talk, as you guys corrected me the other day. And also, well, there's some Zero as well, you know, Charlie and Dal, do you like this image of my granddad with this new thing in hand? Zero and Simp, of course, finding this pretty funny, just in relation to the comment that they've had about the fact that the trophy system isn't there because of the realism factor, whereas, you know, the realism maybe isn't exactly where it needs to be right now in Vanguard, which, you know, I don't have a problem with, but like, if that's the reason you're giving for no trophies, then, well, maybe they need to reconsider things on that front. This I also thought was pretty funny from the OpTic guys last night. So you've heard of Elf on the Shelf, now get ready for, well, these, I guess, 5 individuals on screen right here. So this I thought was actually pretty good. So I guess you got Scump on a stump in the middle here, you got Hex on checks on the left-hand side, Illy and a Gilly I think is particularly good at the back, Bruce on a Moose, I guess, and then I wasn't really sure what this was meant to be for Shotzzy. I guess this is Ant in a plant, that's what some people were saying, but I guess it depends on your accent whether that actually worked as a rhyme. I thought this was pretty good regardless, but of course these 4 guys getting ready to go, still with some scrims going on right now, and well, last night they were trying to do their best to have a good time. It wasn't always working out for Scum though, as we will look at here in just a second. Was working out here briefly on Bacage. Like, honestly, there's some crazy SMG moments you really see on this map. It is just, oh my god, that guy got completely spun on. It is crazy to see, like, how the observers are going to keep up with this one, because that is one of the big things that, yeah, well, some of the pros have been talking about, the fact that in this game, like, it's incredibly hectic at times, especially a map like Bacage. Of course, the way the squad spawns work all this type of stuff means in general that, well, there's a lot of gunfights going on every single time, and on Bacage, like, there's so much contesting going on, a lot of the games don't even go to 250, so, well, as a result of that, there's some thought process, okay, how's this game actually going to look from a competitive perspective? Then again, it probably can't be as bad as Modern Warfare when it was 5v5, like, at least 4v4 does give some advantage in that sense, so with any luck, this will still be fine, and, well, at least perspectives like this from Scump's side definitely look pretty entertaining, to say the very least. There was, of course, some scrims, as we described, going down yesterday, and to the credit of Boston, like, once again, they got the better of OpTic in this scrim set. I think, well, I guess they were down 3-0 right here. The first 3 maps went to OpTic, and the monster reverse sweep comes in the best of 7. I do wonder, I don't reckon we'll get any best of 7s this season, but there was some talk last year as to whether some matches should be best of 7, for example, at Champs or something. Do you make the matches best of 7 instead? Now, you know, I think that would not be a bad idea necessarily if there were a lot of maps to be played. Like back in the Black Ops 3 days, there used to be a single elimination tournament for the playoffs effectively. So stage 1 playoffs back in Black Ops 3, they did them as a single elimination best of 7 series. OpTic Gaming at the time won one of them in a game 7 round 11 after almost getting reverse swept by Rise. You guys might know that series, and also I'm pretty sure that the second stage they lost in the very first round to like LG or something. But still, maybe best of 7s will happen this year. Like the problem is in Black Ops 3 there were so many great maps, right? You could actually do a best of 7 with a load of great competitive maps. This game, I'm not sure how that would even be possible. You can see here they're already repeating maps to even get that far, and especially with no third game mode, right? Like who even knows what's happening? Control is the third game mode, but it's not particularly, people aren't particularly confident it's playable in its present state. And yeah, of course it's over the holidays right now. I doubt Sledgehammer Games are going to fix this anytime soon. Therefore, like it's not going to be far out from the actual start of the season before maybe maybe we get a third gamer which is actually playable in competitive play. But these were the matches right here, like fair play to the Octane Esports guys. The Boston team, it seems, of Capsadal, Nero, Method, and TJ bringing this one back. And still, definitely poses a great thing, to be honest, if they are being this competitive in scrims early on, just because, well, if Boston can actually be a competitive team this season, then you would well imagine the other teams are going to be in a similar boat. But I wanted to share this clip that came up from Scump's stream last night, maybe during this scrim set, or the next one on Gather 2 Hardpoint, where, well, he wasn't having the greatest time. The Bloom mechanics, the first kill he gets, they were removed from Warzone, but still here in multiplayer, and it looked like the bullets were right on the guy, but just go straight through him. And then the second clip, he runs into one of these stupid walls. Why does it need to be there? And gets stuck for a little bit before he finally releases himself.
Yo, there's on you guys.
There's a wall. Johnny dead.
Both their side. Dashy, their side. Bloom.
Oh, he's on. To their side.
Whoa, what's inner tower?
Nah, goddamn it.
Yo, go on you.
I'm in the bunker right now.
Gotta lead my shots better playing Warzone, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm putting right here.
Yep, I heard that.
Left tank, Donnie.
Bro, help me, I'm not even kidding. I can't get out.
One pitch red tower.
Where's Red Tower? Red Tower dead?
He's back in. Nice defense.
Okay,
One.
Play right, one guy's right.
flat. Last guy time after that, just
Guys,
go flat time.
Time.
Back.
Get already there. You wanna get shot them in.
Back right.
Back left, dead.
Mack there, holding.
I got streaks.
We trapped.
Oh, he's still there, yep.
I got full streaks, I got full. Bottom dead.
For Mack on spawn.
Easy, Mack dead.
Laying down stuff.
Oh,
Research, Fred dead.
I have over.
Strafing.
Fix it after that. Yeah.
I got another glide.
So I don't think you can really blame Scump for the kind of, I mean, he honestly retained his composure pretty well in that clip. It seems this type of stuff happens all the time, but it's just crazy how the Bloom thing happens to him and like the bullets seem to go through him. Like, is he leading his shots enough or what's going on there? Because that's the thing. If you play a bit of Warzone, like you're playing somewhat of a different game really, because there's no Bloom. The MP40 in Warzone is really, really good right now because I'm pretty sure they removed the Bloom entirely. From regular multiplayer, it's still there. Now, if it was to be removed, would it make the MP40 and the SMGs in general way too good for not having this disadvantage of range? Or like, how does that exactly work? The projectile motion is still there in action, so you still have to kind of lead your shots at range. It's a little bit crazy, to be honest, but I'm not really sure why that has to be a mechanic, like this inherent randomness, like, you know, why does kind of a bullet just go right aim across there like it used to back in the day? Apparently that's not a thing anymore. So yeah, Scump understandably frustrated about that, and then I don't know why that destructible wall was even there, to be honest. Like, he kind of gets stuck in it. He eventually gets himself out by punching it, but you know, maybe his teammates had to help him out or something in certain situations, because in fairness, even in Cold War last year, there was some situations you could get stuck in the grounds, but still, they were relatively few and far between, thankfully. But it's understandable why the frustrations in this game do remain. This was the second set of scrims that they played, the only two sets of scrims, I believe, that were streamed with all the teams last night. They played up against London, and it was, well, OpTic win this one 6-1. So just, you know, kind of interesting how, well, Boston are getting very competitive with them, and London seems to be just one step behind it right now. Of course, a lot of these maps were pretty close. 244, 238, you know, 250, 227, and, well, London won the Berlin the second time around they played it, but still not a bad set of scrims on the day for all involved. This I thought was also pretty impressive from TJ. This is actually up against the OpTic guys in that scrim set, and we haven't really seen too much from TJ, but there has been a fair bit of talk about this player coming back into the league. Does he deserve that spot? Is it because, you know, he's good friends with Methods, right, and has been for a couple of years now, and therefore, like, you know, that's why he's getting this spot on the team, because really the last couple of seasons he hasn't had the greatest time in competitive Call of Duty. He's been on a few different rosters, LA Thieves for example last year, the year before that on OGLA, didn't really work out too well for him, but you know, back in the World War II days, for example, on Rise, he was considered, outside of Kenny, the best SMG in the game in terms of slaying numbers, in terms of aggression. He was absolutely monstrous. Now, you know, maybe that'll happen again this year, right? But they're bringing him back, and it's kind of, well, it seems like they are going to sign him. It's not, of course, official yet, the team that Boston is going to be bringing in, but yeah, TJ back in the league. A lot of people have said after the performances the last couple of years, does he necessarily deserve this spot back? He's going to do his best to prove he does. I think, to be honest, there's not all that many great aggressive SMG players we have in competitive Call of Duty. TJ has been one of them in the past, despite not really being there the last couple of years. Maybe this game suits him a little bit better, and of course in scrims so far it's been looking pretty good for what's going on. Like, yeah, crazy kill streak right here that, well, TJ puts up against the OpTic guys, getting fully streaked out, all this type of stuff, just being a nightmare around all these buildings, right? Thankfully, with all the doors and the kind of destructibles gone, it's, well, seems to be a better environment in certain situations. Not always the case, though, for example, on Kavutu, because you can't disable them all right now, these doors and windows because it kind of breaks the game, as we looked at a few days ago. Classic stuff really from Vanguard. This also from Zero I thought was kind of funny. Back to the 12th team on the senior analyst rankings, just behind FaZe. OpTic have been having us bad this week, right? So basically just saying, you know, the Twitter analysts, they've got us back at 12th place. I don't think that's necessarily accurate. We may do a Christmas power rankings video tomorrow, but well, we will see about that one. This also, just as we kind of close down the video here from Attach, like, well, I kind of take these tweets as bait. I still think it is bait to some degree, but as Attach says, we took Modern Warfare 2019 for granted, right? He always does these kind of, funny tweets about, okay, Modern Warfare was the best Call of Duty of all time, or like, all the new Call of Duties are going to be the best ones that have ever been created. Now, you know, still, in fairness, looking back on Modern Warfare 2019 compared to this game, was MW better than this game? I don't know, it's tough to say. Is there even rose-tinted glasses with that game from a competitive perspective? Like, that game was pretty woeful, to be honest. Like, I think, honestly, Vanguard's got, well, I don't know, we'll have to see, right? But that was 5v5, squad spawns, like, the maps were, I don't know if they were even better than this game, maybe they were, to be honest. It's tough, but, you know, I'm not really sure what side of the fence Attach is on, to be honest, as to which game was actually better for competitive play, but as Slasher says, like, you know, it's a bit too early to be hitting the bottle, and Slasher has some of his thoughts really on, well, Vanguard compared to Modern Warfare. Anyone who can shoot straight can run around and play squad spawns. Bailout and one of the worst things to happen to Call of Duty. So basically saying, yeah, Modern Warfare and Vanguard maybe on a similar pecking order really is how, well, bad these games are with them, well, the bailouts that squad spawns provide. But, well, hopefully things will maybe change in time. I don't know, maybe they're going to change squad spawns. I kind of doubt it. We'll see if they try to do anything in the new year, but they are hopefully going to make some sort of changes, right? Because I think we might otherwise be in for a pretty rough year from a watching a competitive perspective. This I thought was kind of funny here from the flank. This time around in the CDL, Zach to Dead odds bigger and better things. No, yeah, Squidward and SpongeBob right here. Like, well, SpongeBob and Zed coming up on Paris and saying, you know, look at this guy, how's it going? Of course, with Octane Esports right now, and I guess Den's in a very similar spot, right, being the general manager of that new Boston team. However, well, also was on Paris as a player alongside Zed just a couple of years ago. Entertaining stuff, no doubt. And just to say this also, because, well, the CDL skin that we've been talking about the last couple of days, how, well, how good they apparently think it looks and how, well, good it really looks. It generally does look like a North Face jacket. I thought this was funny from Tactical Academy, really. Like, you just get the North Face jacket, get the boots, get the cargo pants, and that's job done for the CDL skin, right? You can buy this yourself rather than, well, something, well, it's actually pretty unique in the game that maybe you wouldn't be able to pick up at your local outdoor store. But very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting a like button and tell the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.